Here's the list of the folks that are listed as followers and verified followers at that for the Georgia Examiner on Twitter.
Is that the one you wanted? Because I
That
don't
is
have a.
exactly the one I wanted. Thank you very much. Who are the names on this list? These are the top verified followers on the Georgia Examiner, which only has 50 followers. And this is the top of the verified follower list. Folks in Georgia are smart.
No comment. No comment.
I understand. We don't need one. Folks in Georgia are smart. No. They're looking at this list going, "Oh my goodness. What am I seeing here that perhaps was never suspected that it might be uncovered? Who knows? Who knows?" But overlaps very much a list of people that have had negative things to say about BKP all along, and yet here they appear on this list of this surprising publication. Okay, so let's go on to what's happened in the last 24, 48 hours. Please go to GE6.
I love the way you're bringing this around, Bill, and folks, just wait.
So yesterday, many people, we don't know how many, but many across Georgia received this text message about another article that got put up on the Georgia Examiner. And I believe if folks go back, they will see reports that we've done in BKP that you've talked about, wherein there were plans that were talked about with two gentlemen that I had on video a couple of weeks ago, and previous to that from very good gentleman who runs a radio station down in South Georgia about a plan to remove both BKP and David Cross from their posts, their elected positions in the GOP prior to the state convention, which we are now 72 or 100 hours in front of. This text message says, "Double cross, David Cross votes against Trump." And it's from, and they have a link to, the Georgia Examiner Substack, same publication. And it says stop to end. Well, yesterday this was sent to me and someone had typed in stop to end. And they got a return message. Diane, go ahead to GE7. This is the message they got. GRA-PAC. You have opted out of this program and will no longer receive any messages. Reply report to report unwanted messaging. Text start to opt back in. Oops. So if we go to then GE8, please. GRA-PAC. It's ironic how they describe themselves. And I'm not, but first of all, let me do this. I know that a lot of people that are involved in various organizations, probably including this one, are very good, very solid, patriotic, good Georgians. I am not throwing those people under the bus. There are people that have been fooled by certain things. I don't know if this is one of them. Is this another trick to try to harm the GRA-PAC? We don't know. But it is interesting that the reply message to this associated with David Cross and the Georgia Examiner reportedly came from GRA-PAC. So we don't know if this is all one more step in trying to fool us. We don't know. I know folks, grassroots folks, are in all these organizations. They are working hard to try to do the right things, and I trust them. And I trust them to see through things that are trying to fool them. And we don't know how many different things those are. I will clarify that the article that calls out David Cross, I heard him speak on last night. I will simply repeat what I heard to see if we can clarify what this is. David Cross didn't vote against Trump. There was a proposal to endorse Trump in advance of the primary, and immediately in the middle of and right after asking candidates to submit $25,000 payments to the Georgia GOP in order as part of their qualification process. David last night on a conference call said that the explanation was he didn't feel that that was ethical to take that money and then immediately, without even getting to the primary, endorse any candidate. And so he felt that the process was wrong. But I will remind folks that David Cross has done a number of things to help and support both the Trump campaign and the investigations into the corrupt elections and stolen elections here in Georgia. He has done that for going on 3 years. And to have somebody question that is clearly trying to fool you. And I believe you guys will not be fooled. So with that, let me take a breath and drop it back to you, Brian.
Are you able to tell us at this time, are you researching it? Are you able to tell us at this time who operates this PAC? Now, I want to be clear. I understand, and we'll get clarification, it may be Brant Frost and maybe the Frost family. Now, I said maybe, okay. Are we able to confirm that, or are we working on that?
We're working on that. We haven't been able to make contact as yet. And also, I just want to underscore, we're in a, General Flynn and others have said it. We're in an information war. So we want to be careful and not jump to conclusions. We want confirmation of things.
No, I said
Notably,
maybe.
there are mechanisms to confirm who's sending out various text messages, and we're working on that as well. So,
well, let me take a couple things. Jason Thompson, after the GRA event that took place, and he got very upset, has, to my knowledge, has not taken any more questions. The other night in Forsyth County, they were given 15 minutes. He filibustered the 15 minutes. He won't take any more questions. That's number one. When Brian Jack, the negative one, can you go back to the one that was Brian Jack? I don't know how you name that. Okay.
Yeah, Diane, that's GE3.
All right. This is Georgia Examiner. Where's Brian Jack? Brian Jack is the Donald Trump endorsed candidate in the 3rd Congressional District race. This attack on Brian Jack coming from the Georgia Examiner, little possible tie to the GRA PAC, to possibly Brant Frost and friends, is the GRA has endorsed someone else in this race. The GRA has an endorsement in this race, and the endorsement comes on a family level. The GRA has endorsed someone else. So it's not a coincidence that this attack came out against Brian Jack, Trump's endorsed candidate, because the GRA has endorsed a different candidate than Trump's candidate. So that's something else I wanted to put out on that. This is the same publication, we'll call it that attacked me over and over and over. All right. Now, I do know this. All right. And I'll say this, I'll take this squarely on my shoulders, that the Georgia State GOP committee, the list, Brant Frost had the list of all the committee members before any of us out here had the list. And emails and campaigns were going out to state committee members. And I was told, I'll take this heat all of myself, that Brant Frost was working with Debbie Dooley. Now, I got that directly, that Debbie Dooley said she was sending out polling. All right. And Brant Frost was helping with that. GRA State Committee. Now, the reason this is all, I'm going to say, very important for transparency reasons, as they like to say. Now, Josh McCoon, the chairman, likes to say for transparency reasons. So here's what we're doing for transparency reasons for this Georgia Examiner. If you were at the state committee meeting the other day where they voted to remove me, as my friend likes to say, exile, send me into exile, Brant Frost ran the election on the computer. Just remember that as we're being so transparent. The guy that ran the election on the computer in the front of the room was Brant Frost with the clickers. Brant Frost is the one that coordinates the clickers on the vote. Brant Frost is the one that coordinated the clickers on the vote at the state committee meeting for the Trump endorsement that they released David Cross's information. Now, I want to say something, Bill, because this is a fact. I spoke to a district chairman yesterday that was in the room that actually quoted on the record who made the motion after this is factual, folks, because GOP, they love transparency. You heard Josh McCoon. All right. After the vote on endorsing Trump, and as Bill said, he's correct, the Georgia GOP took $25,000 from all the candidates. There was not, the primary had not happened. Trump had not secured the delegates at this time to be the presumptive nominee. And when this came up, the discussion started is, how does that make us look as a party, taking money and doing this in advance? How do we come out looking? And it was a good, healthy discussion throughout the room. All right. I was there for transparency because Josh likes that. I voted yes on this. But I'm going to look you right in the camera, right in the eye, and tell you I know several that voted no on it based on the reasoning that are Trump supporters, and I don't question. Here's where I'm coming around to this, Bill, is the rules say, all right, as soon as this vote was taken, a member of the state committee said, I make a motion that we scrub the vote and it cannot be released. So we had a motion on the floor. We had a second. We had discussion. The reason being is we didn't want to go out of there and shame people. I was in the room. There's a reason they got me out, because they don't want me in the room any longer. I was in the room. The discussion was we didn't want to go out there and shame people. We didn't want to go out. We didn't want to go out of there and have people attacked. Like you find out somebody voted and you don't understand it, and they attack your family, come to your house, whatever, during these times. And that passed, Bill. It passed that we scrubbed that vote and it not be released. Now, keep that in mind, folks. This is factual. So whoever, now the other day when that was released, it's on her Twitter page, Candace Taylor released that. Okay? She is the 1st district chair. These are all facts. I keep saying that because there's so much out there that's diluted. Candace Taylor released that. And this Georgia Examiner, Bill, if you were to go to that story and show it, it highlights Candace Taylor's tweet that she put out. So that was in violation of the vote. And I don't care to be transparent here. I voted yes on scrubbing because I didn't want to see any of my friends or anybody get attacked. So I voted yes on Trump, but then I voted yes to scrub it. All right. Now, the interesting thing there is, okay, last Friday's meeting was supposed to be an executive session. And it was very clear that no pictures were to be taken of the vote to remove me and released. No one. And before we got home on Friday afternoon, the people that voted to retain me for first vice chair was published publicly with comments. It's time to start the public shaming and let these people know. So I'm sorry to take so much time.
Right?
Yes,
someone actually said these people need to be shamed.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. We have that screenshot, and that was supposed to be executive session. So I just in what you're saying there on what the attack on David Cross, the attack on him, all right, Jason Thompson running, his anger the other day, everything they can do to try to retain Jason, and what you have what you have showed everybody. So I hope you continue this research.
There's one more thing I'd like to offer before we break, Brian, if you could just grant me 2 minutes. Go ahead, put up 5.4 again, please, for just a minute. And I want to make a statement to the people that are potentially concerned about this. And I've heard some are planning, oh gosh, I'm not even sure I want to go to the state convention. If there's one message that I would like folks to think about, if you want to take control of your party back, you must go. Trump's been telling us for 3 years, we will not bend, we will not break, we will not back off, we will not back down, we will never, ever give up. This is the time to not back down. Go to the state convention, make your choice, participate, vote for who you believe in based on everything you've got. I'm not going to tell you who, but your instincts, your heart will, I believe, guide you in the right direction. But please do not back off and do not fail to take advantage of your opportunity to attend. That's it.
All right. Let me just finalize this, and while I have you, and if there's any corrections, all jokes aside, I want to be clear here. Earlier, when Bill brought up Jason Thompson and brought up the GRA, he showed you the video. That is not the Georgia record, as Bill said, and I've said on this program. I had zero interest in bringing anyone's family in here. I have minor. None of my kids are my grandkids are adults, but I have my wife's been attacked. My children have been attacked. They're adults. My grandchildren have been attacked. All right, so I'm a hands off on the family. All right, but this came up outside of Bill's reporting or any comments of mine, and factually. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jason Thompson's daughter is an adult, went to law school, I think, and she works for Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State's office. I actually think she is Jordan Fuchs' assistant. I don't know the exact title, but I'm pretty sure she's an assistant to Jordan Fuchs at the Secretary of State's office. Julianne Thompson is on committees for the 9th District of the Georgia GOP, and I could find the email, but she was appointed, a volunteer position, but appointed to something at the Georgia GOP Inc. by Josh McCoon, and then you see all the documents that have been raised concerning that. If you believe that Jason Thompson wants to be your national committee man for the RNC because he's an amazing Trump supporter, you can't tell your kids what to do. But I'd like to hear him say that he had a talk with his daughter and say, pretty hard to work over at the Secretary of State's office. It could be difficult. So that's that. She's an adult. She does what she wants. But it just seems like there's awful close ties to that Secretary of State's office for someone that wants to be your national committee man and vote for you at the RNC and support Trump. So I'll leave it there. Bill, you get the last word.
Again, I want to underscore that we're reporting what we find, that we can document, and that what we believe is the truth that Georgians need to know. Many folks have known that there's problems that have been going on associated with elections, associated with the party. There's questions that have never been answered, and unfortunately, the information is getting troubling. So we invite folks to do their own research, to confirm our results. If we get something that you feel is is incorrect, then submit that and we'll consider it. But we are reporting things that are being picked up at a national level by folks that have 10 times the reach in some ways that we do, and we believe that they are, because they are finding validity in what we're bringing out. So we thank you for that. We encourage everybody to stay involved, keep bringing forward the information, and we love y'all.
All right, so if you thought you really